Hey everyone, welcome back to another unboxing video. And as you can see, there's not a whole lot today, but that's only because I'm filming it during the middle of the month. And as the month goes by, if I pick up more stuff, I'll include it in the video. For now, I'm showing off what I have so far, which is the Marvel Legends series, Avengers Endgame, Iron Patriot. This is part of that Build-A-Figure wave that came with Endgame. I found him at my local Think Geek, and I wanted to pick him up because I've been collecting the Marvel Legends stuff. Right here, you can see the Transformers Studio Series Dino from Transformers Dark of the Moon. I've been very much looking forward to this guy, and again, I saw him at Think Geek, and I picked him up right away. I also actually saw him at Target, so they're starting to pop up in those stores. If you can find him, then and you're looking for him, then look there. And I'm actually going to be looking at these little minifigures for Godzilla. I don't know, they're from Bandai, but I don't know the exact who exactly makes them. But as you can see, they're just these little blind baggies where you get where you see what monster you get, you put them together. I have Rodan, and I figured I'd pick up a few of them. I don't know which ones I got, but we're gonna go ahead and open those up. So let's go ahead and get right to the video. And alright, I figured we'd do this part live since that's how I usually see these blind bags go, unboxings go. So let's go ahead and just take our scissors and let's just cut them open. Alright. So here we got, who is this here? Oh, okay, so, oh, cool, it's 84, it's Godzilla 84. Alright, that's badass. Alright, so let's go ahead and put that right there. Let's see what else we got. Alright. So let's see, we have another, oh no, this is 54. Sweet. Alright, so we're already getting multiple stuff. That's pretty cool. This is a bigger one, so I'm hoping it's maybe Ghidorah, but we'll see. Oh, okay, hey, we got Space Godzilla. Sweet. And yeah, he got his crystal arms and everything. Awesome. Alright, well, I'm hoping this last one's gonna be Ghidorah, but I think it might also be Space Godzilla, because sometimes, you're bound to pick up twice of the same thing. And yep, it's Space Godzilla. Alright, cool. Well, then I'll go ahead and open these up off screen, put them together. But yeah, I was really hoping for Space Gods or from Ghidorah, but Space Godzilla's pretty cool too. So yeah, let's go ahead and get right to it. Alright, and here we have the little minifigures. So I guess we'll start off with the Space Godzilla, just get them out the way. Now you can see, so one of mine actually has a curved tail. I think that's just from being in the plastic wrong, but I guess to look this one, the detail and everything, I'm actually very surprised by the detail of this figure. It has a lot on it that just looks really, really good, and the paint's pretty good too. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's almost this shimmering coming off of the crystal on the shoulder, and it's a really good, and even on like the dorsal plates here, and it looks really good for what it is. They are very tiny, as you can see me holding it, and so that's why I think the amount of detail and paint is just really good. It's not perfect. As you can see, the face took a bit of a hit, but it's still like just it's a really cool looking little minifigure. And I think I think it's cool when they take characters that are supposed to be huge and kind of make them more small. I don't know, something about that just always seemed kind of interesting to me. But I guess moving on, let's go to the 54 Godzilla. I think in terms of the face, it took a bit of a hit, because one side's looking one way, the other's looking more centered, and so up front he looks a little goofy. But I guess someone could make the argument that that's just how the suit is. But I mean, either way, it's still like I said, just like Space Godzilla, they kept they were able to put in a lot of detail as well as like some decent paint. Not everything's painted like the toenails, they just completely left, but I think that's more for the suit. I think that's like more accurate to the suit. I like the way they did the dorsal plates, like just the way they were able to cleanly put a ring around every single like dorsal plate. So I think that's really cool. And yeah, overall, I mean, just I mean, it's the original design. I think they nailed it. Especially with like the bagginess of it. Because like the first suit especially was like just it was the sort of the prototype for all the upcoming Godzilla flicks. And then we have its sort of kind of sequel, the Godzilla 84, and I think this one is kind of my favorite. of them. For one thing, I think I'm starting to really like come around to the 84 suit being one of my favorite designs. I don't know, something about the face and everything, just it looks really cool. When it came to like the Heisei films, the 91 or something like that, I think it's 91, the Godzilla versus Ghidorah suit. That one I always liked the most. That and the Burning Godzilla design. But I think 84 will probably be a close second, just because I just really love the head design of it. But overall, again, just not much else to say. I mean, I've already said everything. The detail and everything, it's really good. The painting is pretty top notch, for a little figure, and I just like the pose. The tail is a little short, but I think that's just so it can fit in the bag. Plus, I think these designs of Godzillas, they probably didn't have. I don't think they had the biggest tails. I think that was more like the later '90s, like definitely like '91 and all that stuff, '92, and especially like when we got to Burning Godzilla '95. That's when he had a big tail. Let me get these guys closer to the camera so you could see them. And I also want to show. I managed to find before these guys, I managed to find Rodan. I saw these again. I found these all in my Think Geek, and a long time before, I got a blind bag, and I opened it. It ended up being Rodan, and as you can see right here, I believe this is the Ghidorah, the three-headed dragon design. But overall, really good figures. Let's go on to the next one. Alright, and here we have Studio Series Dino from Transformers Dark of the Moon, aka Mirage, but we call him Dino. Because I guess even the designers figured that he looked nothing like Mirage, so they just like, let's just call him Dino. But yeah, just thoughts right off the bat are that I really really like this figure. It's a very very cool. It's just really good, awesome to have a figure version of Dino, because if anyone knows the history behind this character, like a figure just could not be made of him. He like it's just like a curse came upon him, and every time they did make a figure, they had to use like somebody else's like body. Like I think one of the last attempts that was officially produced was from Age of Extinction, where they had to use I think it's Sideways, the Decepticon who was like in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen for like 2 seconds before he got split in half. But this figure right here, I think is really, really, really good. I really like this figure. Now as you can see, I have the doors kind of flayed up all the way. I think you can actually, just kind of customize it to your own liking. You could either have it like, like this, like the way the box has it, which, I never really go for. You could have it more like this, where the wings are a little more up in the air. You can even like mess with them. From my memory, I swear, like I'm thinking of the game, so I don't know if this is an accurate template, but like I remember the game, his like door wings were like hanging up all the way in the air, though maybe they were more like that. So yeah, I just kind of had them like folded up like that. But yeah, I know a lot of people complain that this was a shell former, and as you can see, that is definitely the case. But I think unlike most shell formers, Hasbro and Takara actually made it to where it's not just this giant dangling car at the back. They actually found a way to fold it and twist it. It's actually quite complex, as you can see right here. It's quite complex, and when I transformed it, I had the biggest issue trying to fold it back into place, because there's a certain way you gotta do it. I don't know if I can fully recreate it right here, but like as you can see, so like I think I was doing it to where like I was doing it like that, and the thing wouldn't. Oh, okay, it's going in like there. So I'm trying to see how oh, okay. So I think I tried doing it like this. I thought you had to push it in like this, and as you can see, it's not working. So I had to like squeeze it, and it just wasn't like doing it properly. So yeah, I mean, just there's like a certain complex way that you have to fold it. Everything has to sort of line up into place, and then bam, it just snaps in like that. So when it snaps in easily, you did it right. If it doesn't snap in easily, you might have to rearrange some of the panels. But I think that that's really cool that they're able to like really compress that backpack, because that's something that I think a lot of these deluxe figures suffer from nowadays, is that they have that large backpack, they don't know what to do with it. I think this is the one where they finally realized that you can just fold up the backpack and it's not as bad. So I'm hoping to see this with like more of the Studio Series figures and just more of the Transformers in general. But with that being said, I mean, I think the best thing about this is the head sculpt. They really nailed how Dino looks like from Dark of the Moon. And I even love his little blades. I think there's already an upgrade kit where he has the blades are larger, but I like the way these came out. They're not, they're small, but I like it. And yeah, I mean the car form. I'm not gonna transform it, but the car form isn't that accurate. But from what I hear, Ferrari is very harsh on their licensing, so I think that that's completely fine. I mean, overall, if you just wanted a Dino figure from Dark of the Moon, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't get unless you already had the Alien Attack one or whichever premium ones are out there. I don't see why you wouldn't get this guy. This guy's awesome. He's really good. I really like him. But yeah, I mean, so those are just my general thoughts. Let's go ahead and get on to the next figure. Alright, and here we have Iron Patriot or Marvel Legends Iron Patriot from the Avengers Endgame line. And, I mean, again, just first thoughts. This guy came out really good. I really like the way how it came out. And it is an old figure, so it came out like, what was it, 2 years ago, which I mean, I can't even believe that. I mean, can y'all believe that it's been 2 years since Avengers Endgame came out? That's just crazy. But yeah, I mean, from what memory serves me well, I believe that this is actually the second iteration of what came out. Again, from what I know, is that the first wave was a Build-A-Figure Thanos. And then I believe they had a second wave where it was a Build-A-Figure War Machine, because as you saw from Endgame, their War Machine got a suit later on that was way bigger than his original suits and had a lot more arsenal. I mean, you can see he has like the thigh rockets, these missile pods, and then his gigantic machine guns that look more like laser cannons. And I always thought that was what he looked like in the movie. And then when they finally came out with the third wave, I don't know if this is the third or fourth wave, but like when they came out with the later wave, and they came out with this guy, I was like, why did they make him look like the Iron Patriot? And come to find upon rewatching the movie, that when he puts on this suit, it has the Iron Patriot color scheme. So this was actually the more accurate version, and that's not why I got this. I got this because I saw it at my local Think Geek. That they were, I guess there was just a day where they were pulling out old figures, and I managed to find this guy. I was hoping to find that maybe at some point they pull out Iron Man, but who knows? I mean, because I just really want an Iron Man figure. But I mean, with all that said, I mean, this guy is just really awesome. I love the way he came out. I mean, he's very he's very boxy, but I think that's just more what how the design is. And these parts are fairly loose. I'm not a big fan of how they're like just these so soft that like it feels like they're about to just pop off for 5 seconds. But with that said, I love I just love like the little decals here and there, and I think the paint apps, even though I'm always not the biggest fan of this marbly swirly plastic that they use, I think it gives off a really shiny metallic feel, and so it works for this figure. And I mean, as you can see, even the eyes are just like, I love how the way Marvel Legends does their eyes, how they paint the red and then they paint like a whitish red like inside it, to make it look like it's glowing. It always looks great. And again, just look at how many I think even like under the arm, like under like behind the hand, you can see there's just weapons all over him. Like, this guy really does put the War Machine name to the test. Just like he's just decked out in all kinds of weapons, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, and like articulation wise, it doesn't seem like a lot, but he can totally get in poses. Like, I didn't think these could actually move out, but depending on if the plastic is, I don't know if I'd leave him like this for too long, because I feel like the plastic will bend and it will stay like that. But I mean, yeah, he can totally move out his arms, and I mean, it's a good posability for a bulky figure. But yeah, overall, let's just move on, and yeah, let's get to the next figures. Alright, and here we have the Mortal Kombat 11 figures by McFarlane. And at this point, I have seen the Mortal Kombat movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. It has its issues. I know a lot of people are really, giving it some low ratings, but I think the movie was very fun. I enjoyed it for what it is. I hope that in the sequel they do better, but as it is, I enjoyed the new movie. But these are the Mortal Kombat 11 versions. So as you can see, I mean, just want to say like up front, like the sculpting, the detail on Liu Kang's pants are just incredible. Even like on his leather jacket, they really nailed down the texturing and made it feel very realistic. Even though I think it's just a little too shiny, I think the shininess does help with the overall sculpt, helping it pop out more. Because as you can see, like it helps you see where the folds and creases are. So even though it's a little too shiny for my liking, it does help the sculpt. The posability, I mean, it's about the same. I mean, the good thing about this figure is that it's not hindered by any plastic drapery or anything like that. So he's really able to pose. You're really able to pose him, and I just got him in this like I don't even know what kind of stance. I mean, I'm not I don't even know how to describe it, but just like the typical like kind of martial arts kung fu type pose. You know that I mean, because I know like Liu Kang, at least to my knowledge, is inspired by Bruce Lee. So you know, I just they even gave him the hand, like, so I just put him in this type of typical stance with the nunchuck. By the way, bicycle kick is an amazing move. I when I say I main Liu Kang, it's only because I play him. I like if I'm not playing Scorpion, I play him, but I don't really know how to play Liu Kang very well. But his bicycle kick is hilarious, especially in Mortal Kombat 11, where you can just spam that for like 10 minutes straight. It's just amazing. But the next figure we have is Shao Kahn. And I think this one came out really good. I do wish the paint apps were just slightly better. As you can see, for like, hold on, let me see if I can get Liu Kang. That's the other thing too, is that because their feet are so small, it's hard to stand them. But as you can see, Shao Kahn came out really, really good. And what I was gonna say is, I wish that some of the paint apps came out a little better. I feel like he only has two tones. It feels very simple. Like they just went light brown, dark brown, and that's it. Where when you look at the game, I mean, when you look at the game, there's like a lot of different shades and darker tones and brighter tones and all that stuff, and even like the face, you know, it looks good when there's shadow on it, but like when you just like when you have the light directly on it. Of course, you can say this about any figure, but you know he does. I don't know. He just does. He just looks a little goofy, but I mean overall, I still really like the way the figure came out. I actually do like this design for Shao Kahn. I know it's a little too samurai-ish. You know, I think it's should be a little more brute like, but I think even with the samurai aesthetic, it still captures his brute like nature. The only thing I don't like is his hammer. I think sculpting wise, it came out really good, but as you can see, what I do not like is the plastic for this part, for the grip and everything, because it's this super soft rubbery plastic, and every time I try to put this guy in a pose, the thing just warps to complete chaos. And I try to get into a two-handed pose, and I'm just afraid to, because it just, he can't hold it properly, at least the times I've tried holding it, or I tried getting to hold it. And even when he holds it single-handed, it droops crazy, like it droops really bad. I don't know what McFarlane was thinking giving this. I mean, I get, yeah, like, but if they wanted him to be able to hold it, they should have made his fingers rubbery. I don't understand why, cause like Liu Kang's nunchucks, to my knowledge, like they're rubbery, but they're stiff. They're more stiff type of plastic, so it's not as, you know, flexible. You know, the only parts that's flexible is the chain, so that way, like, you know, it can feel more fluid in motion. Whereas we have Shao Kahn here, and sorry, I'm just trying to get him to stand. We have Shao Kahn here, who has a very rubbery, you know, hammer like staff, whatever. And it just won't hold a pose, so that's very frustrating because the rest of the figure is so good. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for your Shao Kahn figures. Just be careful with the hammer; it's gonna be very rubbery and you might not be able to get into that two-handed pose unless you cheat it, you know. And when I mean cheated, I mean like make it look like he's holding it, but he's really not, for like photography and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean overall, and actually something I forgot to say is like going back to Liu Kang, I wanted to point out his face. His face sculpting actually came out really good. I like the way it looks, and I even like the little hair details and all that stuff. My camera can't pick it up very well, but the details on the hair are very, very good. I'm pretty sure that they'll come out with some type of Revenant version, but you know, I don't know if I'd really get that. I kind of like Liu Kang just as his self, but it could still be cool to have two versions of Liu Kang, and a good and evil one. I mean, because we know, like, at least to my knowledge, I know in the original set of games, like as they went on, Liu Kang died. I believe it was a Deadly Alliance, and then he came back later as a zombie. So you know, the Revenant version would be kind of cool. Regardless, as for now, these figures are great. If you like the Mortal Kombat line, definitely pick these up. Because Shao Kahn, I know, will definitely be sold out real quickly, and I'm sure everyone's grabbing Liu Kang. I believe I saw that the next ones are Cabal and Noob Saibot. I'm definitely gonna grab those when I can. But overall, yeah, let's just get to it. All right, I want to thank y'all for watching this video. If you want to see pictures of any of my sculptures or just things in my collection, you can go to my Instagram page, Giovanni Arts and Collectibles. That's where I post pictures of all that stuff. And just anything else I feel that's part of the pop culture kind of stuff I like. And I want to thank y'all for watching this video. It was really nice. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.